This AI bot just made your old work methods obsolete. Torbot is blowing up on Twitter and LinkedIn, but nobody's talking about what makes it terrifying. This is not a chatbot. This is an AI employee running 24/7 on your computer, on a VPS, controlling your browser, opening apps, writing documents, sending emails, anything you can do, it does. And I've been running it for the last 2 weeks on less than $7 per month. And most tools are overhyped, but this one's a little bit different. And there's a reason the creator himself warned you not to run this unless you understand what you're doing. So basically, Clawdbot, now known as OpenClaw, is an AI that actually does things. And what makes this different to other agentic AI builders is that you can access it from traditional messaging apps like iMessage, Slack, WhatsApp, and Telegram. There's literally one line that you need to run inside a terminal to install it. You can run it on your own machine, on a separate machine, or how I do it, on a virtual private server. And it basically works with everything. You can connect it up to Slack, Twitter, Signal. I'm looking at Obsidian. There's even a Spotify integration, and there's so much more coming because this is very much community driven. Since Clawdbot is open source, we can do pretty much what we want with it. So you can forget opening a browser because I've configured this to run from inside of Telegram. And here's my bot. Her name is Ava, and she's basically trained to be my personal assistant. But the way I've set this up is that I've given her access to sub-agents. So if I delegate a task to Ava, she can then use the resources of 5 other sub-agents to carry out the tasks. And the reason this is important running it from Telegram is that it eliminates the context switching bottleneck. And what that means is that you never have to leave the messaging app. Everything you do is done from the front end on a platform that you're already comfortable using. Now I use Telegram because it's the easiest one to set up. But I have friends and there are people I know that use WhatsApp. There's quite a few building swarms inside of Discord. There's literally an infinite number of playgrounds that you can test this on. And this busts a common misconception because it tells you that AI doesn't need a special interface to work. It already integrates in your existing workflows. And once it's installed, this is what your dashboard looks like. So this is the control panel, the nerve center of where you set everything up. So this is where Ava's set up. This is where my sub-agents are set up. And I'll show you that. And I'll show you exactly how you can configure the language models. You can configure the identities, the souls, the heartbeat. Everything is done inside of this control panel. So like I said, I've got the main agent, Ava, and she's got basically access to everything. These are all the tools that she has access to. So I've literally given her read-write access. I've given her access to root. She can execute commands, processes. She can do web searches, web fetches, everything. She's even got access to the gateway. And she can do cron jobs, which means that she can schedule tasks. Basically, I've delegated everything to her. Now, this is very risky if you don't know what you're doing. I do know what I'm doing. And I basically locked down my server to make sure that Ava is self-sufficient. She can do everything that I ask her to do. But more importantly, she's not vulnerable to external attacks. And I've given her access to Telegram and Slack. So all my input, output, all the communications are done inside of Telegram. All the output goes to Slack. So if I ask her to do report, and I'll show you one of the reports, she's basically only going to use Slack for the output. And she's running Gemini 2.0 Flash. Now, this is something that most people don't talk about, and that is the rate limit. So depending on what language model you're going to be using with your agents or your sub-agents, it's going to determine how well they perform because every language model has different context windows, they have different strengths and weaknesses. But more importantly, the newer ones like Opus 4.6, I think is the latest one. You got GPT 4.2 and you got Google Gemini 3 Pro. They are the top end language models in the world right now as I'm recording this video. So they are going to be the most expensive language models that you're going to be able to use. Now, these agents burn up tokens, right? So you need to be very careful of how you set this up. And I'll be honest, I haven't really fine-tuned this just yet. I'm trying to tinker between Gemini 2.0 Flash because I do have a Pro Gemini plan and they do give you some access on the free tier. So I do get 2.0 Flash, which is enough. It does everything that I wanted to do inside of OpenClaw. But on the downside, it does hit the rate limits. So Ava is my project manager, my personal assistant, and she has access to sub-agents. The first one is the code developer. So if I ask Ava to build anything for me, she can trigger a code developer to help her do this. Again, it's dependent on a few things. The server itself can handle this, and I'll show you how I set that up. But in terms of languages, she's using Gemini 2.0 Flash. Again, the biggest problem that I'm having right now is rate limits. I've got a solution for this, but I'm not exactly sure how to implement it inside of OpenClaw because it's not natively supported just yet. But I'm in the middle of building some plugins, some additional extensions and libraries to help me do that. So watch this space. And I even show you how you can get $300 in free credits once I get this working. The next one that she has access to is called a project planner. And this is all through Ant Farm. So I'll show you exactly how to set that up as well. And basically project planner is if I delegate anything to her, she can basically use the project planner skills. And this is optimized for, research, planning, workflows, that kind of stuff. Code reviewer is the next agent that is used in conjunction with code developer. Now these agents can talk to each other as well. I've set them up in such a way that they can converse with each other. So Ava has basically 5 other agents that she can work with. So she's not really doing that much. And the last one is the code tester. So this is basically everything that's been built, everything that's been reviewed. And then obviously Ava will then trigger the code tester to make sure that what I've asked her to build, and I do a lot of builds and automations because I'm asking Ava to create Python scripts, create automations, basically just do whatever you need to do to complete the objectives that I'm giving you. And the last one is a video YouTube clipper. So what I want to do is I want to take my long form content from YouTube, clip it, and then post it onto TikTok and Instagram. I'm still working through that because I'm not sure what the logistics are. I can actually clip it, but I'm still trying to figure out how to automate it and post it onto these platforms without me doing anything. I'm trying to figure out a way to schedule these cron jobs. So I've been working on that. I haven't had much time because I'm doing a lot of client work as well. That's my day job. I'm doing a lot of agency stuff, but on the side, I'm actually building out OpenClaw and Torbot. Now, your agents are only as good as the skills that you install onto them. So you got access to some skills here, and you can download these from like GitHub. So I've got Brave Search, which is the Brave search engine. So basically Ava can go out there. If I ask her to do deep research, if I ask her to research XYZ, she can go ahead and do it because she's got the Brave API installed. Another one is FlightClaw, and I'll show you a test of that shortly. That's basically she can track prices using Google Flight data. And then the third one is YouTube Clipper. I want her to clip videos and basically save it onto Google Drive. Now that you've seen how the OpenClaw/Clawdbot dashboard looks like, let me show you what the actual bot, the agent inside of Telegram can do. Hey Ava, I want flight details from Singapore to Perth, flying out on March the 1st to March the 10th, 2026. I only want direct flights. Return all information in Singapore dollar and sort by cheapest to the most expensive. So let's see if Ava understands the request. After thinking about it for a couple of seconds, she's come back with this. So she's going to use the FlightClaw skill that I showed you, and you can put thousands of skills onto your Clawdbot agent. I'm just showing you the ones that I've been playing around with. Obviously going to build this out and turn this into like an agent swarm. But for this, she's using FlightClaw, and she's going to check Singapore to Perth for the dates that I told her. And basically this is the information that she's coming back with. So by default, it's set to euros. She knows that she needs to convert that into Singapore dollar because I live in Singapore. And yeah, she's basically given me some of these options. Now option 6 came back with 0, so that's probably a likely error on the Google Flights API, so we can ignore that one. But the next one is $670, which is pretty good, from Singapore to Perth, which is about a 5-hour flight. And yeah, that's not bad at all. It's with Scoot, which is like a budget airline from Singapore Airlines, so maybe that's a consideration. But yeah, the Qantas is almost double, right? So actually more than double. So yeah, that's definitely worth considering. Maybe for like a 5-hour, 15-minute flight, Scoot is fine. Okay, that's all well and good. That's a really easy task. It's not that taxing. Let me show you what Ava can do with something useful, something that I can use inside my own business. And I'm a YouTube content creator as well as somebody who runs an agency, and I'm always looking for new content. So what I asked Ava to do is basically I gave it a bunch of my competitor channels. I said, go out there and let me know when they upload videos that are getting high outlier scores. And that's basically anything with 5 or more. And so this is what it looks like. I'm back inside of the OpenClaw dashboard, and you can see cron jobs. And that's just fancy speak for scheduled tasks, right? So I've asked Ava to run this once a week. And all she did was she basically delegated it to developers, code reviewers, and testers and whatnot. And I don't really care how they do it. I don't care. I'm not a coder. I don't want to spend any time on this. I told Ava what she needs to do. I said, Ava, just go ahead, get this done for me. You have access to sub agents, use it. So she set up this cron job, which runs once a week, and it ran yesterday. So take a look at this. This is inside of my Slack. I've got a YouTube Intel channel, and basically these are videos that have a 5x or more outlier score. So what that means is YouTube basically groups your videos based on the last 10 uploads. So if your channel's average is 500 views per video, the outlier score is more than 500, right? Now I'm looking for 5x the channel average. So this one has 5x. This is by Dan Keith, and it's done like 63,000 views in 5.5 days. This next one is from Jack Roberts, and this one's doing like 4,600 views per day. It's a 6.1 average, so it's definitely a breakout. So this is something that I could potentially record my own version of. Not only that, it's giving me the channel, it's giving me the video, it's giving me the thumbnails, everything I need to basically reverse engineer that particular video. Here's another one by Simon Scrapes. It's got 35,000 views in 3.5 days, and it's 52x his channel average, which is insane, right? So I've not actually delved into Claude code yet, but he explains it in 39 minutes, which is, I mean, not bad, right? Like there's videos out there that are like 6 hours. I mean, I don't know who's watching them, but hey, go viral. So this is something that I can definitely look into. I am going to explore Claude code when I get a chance, but I've been so busy tied up with OpenClaw and Gravity that I haven't really looked into it as yet. But videos are coming, so stay tuned. And this is absolute gold. Like this will take me a few hours every single week. I'd have to go manually into a burner account that I've got on YouTube, basically train the algorithm, coach the algorithm on the content that I like to see, and based on content I'm subscribing to and I'm replying to and commenting, liking, that kind of stuff. So I'm actually training the algorithm to show me that. And I still like that method. I still scroll through it every now and then. But as I'm getting busier, I've got more content. I'm creating more clients that I'm working with. I'm delegating more and more of this type of stuff to my AI agents. And this video is actually inspired by this one here by 9x, which is Torbot just changed the way we work forever. So I've taken some of the best bits from their video, adding my spin to it, my kind of finesse to the video, and then I'm presenting it as myself, right? So I can use obviously what Ava is telling me in terms of research, and then I've got other automations that I can plug this into. I'll write the titles for me, it'll get the thumbnails, it'll write the YouTube scripts, and I've actually got a video on that. So that's some use cases for you to consider when you have OpenClaw/Clawdbot installed and up and running. Like I said, the installation is really not that hard. There's a lot of gurus out there who make it out to be harder than it is. There's guys selling OpenClaw wrappers so that you sign up like $40 a month, and then you sign up for a virtual private server on their system. It's a one-click install or whatnot, and they set it all up for you, right? That's great. That's fine. I'm not dissing these guys. They've found an opportunity to monetize, and for the most part, they're doing a great job from what I can see. The only issue I have is you don't have control of that virtual private server. So wherever that cloud location is, you have no idea. Secondly, it's going to cost you $40 at least per month, right? That's the cheapest one that I found. There's some that are like $99 a month. At least this way, you have something that you can control. Like either you can install it on your local machine, or you can install it on a virtual private server. And I actually have videos on both. Check that out on my channel, and I'll show you how to set that up. But like I said at the start of the video, the hardest thing for me has been how to manage the language models, how to find something that has performance for OpenClaw and something that's affordable, right? That's going to be your biggest challenge. And what I'm using is either 2.0 Flash for my agents, or I've kind of switched to 2.5 Pro, which is Google Gemini. They're not super expensive. I believe 2.5 Pro is about $1.20 for a million tokens. So you can still go hard, and it only costs you a few dollars to get something up and running. But the most important thing is you're not going to hit the rate limits. That's been my biggest challenge, is hitting the rate limits, especially when you have an agent swarm like I do, because Ava needs tokens, and when she's delegating and talking to the sub agents and she's delegating tasks to the sub agents, that still uses tokens. So even if I don't see an output on Telegram, she's still using tokens behind the scenes, right? So that's been my biggest challenge, honestly, to find something scalable, robust, and something that's affordable. So most people don't know that AI can operate your computer, it can operate browsers, it can integrate apps, it can do research for you, it can find flight details, and you can integrate it with pretty much any app or service. But now you do. The people who learn to direct it, set it up, and trust it with the route boundaries, they'll have the edge. If you want control without risk, I recommend Google Gemini Pro. You're going to need a pay plan. You're going to need to set up some tokens. Even though I have the Pro plan for Gemini, but I'm using it through the API, I still need to top up an account, right? Like I do with Claude or even ChatGPT. But for this, I'm having great results using Gemini, so I'm going to stick with Gemini. But I've had also, I've heard of great results with Claude Opus and even ChatGPT 5.2. So by all means, give it a test, try it out, get OpenClaw installed. If you need a video on how to do that, watch the next video on screen and I'll show you how to set that up. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this one, because why wouldn't you? You get a daily dose of me, Sanj, on your screens, telling you the best AI tools, dropping AI source, and showing you how you can make money with AI. Because I've said this many times, I'm knee deep in this subject. And I think we have between 12 and 18 months before AI is coming for all our lunches. I'm expecting AI Armageddon. AI is going to replace admin jobs, business jobs, accountants, lawyers, everything. And I'm not hyping this up. I've seen the future. I've seen the tools and services that are coming out. So subscribe to the channel if you want to stay ahead of the curve. I'm going to give you the best tools, the best services that I'm using for myself, for my clients, and for my AI private community. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Before you head off, say it with me, something magical is going to happen today, because when you install OpenClaw, it's going to be magical. It's going to change how you approach your daily life, how you build workflows, and how you see agentic AI in the future. But only in February, and I'm expecting so much more in the next few weeks and months, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much if you made it this far, and I'll see you next time.